As far as the war in Ukraine goes, I enthusiastically supported Ukraine for the first year, but I'm enthusiastically not supportive of Ukraine anymore. And the reason is that Ukraine has simply turned its back on any obligations and agreements it made with the West connected with the funding of arms to defend itself. And those agreements included not making incursions into Russia and spreading the war beyond Ukraine's boundaries. And it has done, of course, and in violation of all of its agreements. And it jeopardizes the whole world, the very existence of the whole world, by the threat of nuclear war. And this is clearly why the agreements were made to begin with, that this would not happen, that this kind of antagonization of Russia would not occur. And yet Ukraine seems to think that regardless of the consequences for the entire world, it deserves to drag the whole world along into this conflict and risk the lives of people everywhere, not just Ukraine. And this attitude of entitlement to funds, when those funds are blatantly not used as originally agreed upon, is really a good reason to say enough of Ukraine and its penchant for disregard of the interest of everyone else for its own survival. And the sanctions were working, and the course of bringing an end to this war was working very well until Ukraine escalated it by violating its agreements with the people supplying the means for it to defend themselves. And this puts us all at great risk. There's no end to where this can go now. And so I feel that it's very important for everybody to be aware that Ukraine's actions are having potential catastrophic effects on the planet itself, and to vote no on any funding for Ukraine and for its entitlement, its perceived entitlement that Ukraine embodies, that it deserves somehow the backing of the entire world to protect itself, because now it's the aggressor as well. And the whole world does not need to be dragged into this. And in fact, half the world never wanted to begin with. And the half that did had strict agreements, not that Ukraine keeps the war within its boundaries. This is that it has violated. And that is why I can no longer support Ukraine. To me, it's just a country that has no regard for anyone else, the safety of people everywhere, and only has its own interests in mind. That's lied and cheated to get funds from other countries and is not trustworthy and has proved it's not trustworthy. And it's time to withdraw all funding of arms to this country, to Ukraine. And that's a sad state of affairs, but it would be a sadder state of affairs if we let it continue.